Good evening. Let us chant this mantra. Tava kathamritam tapta jivanam kavibhiriritam kalmashapaham sravana mangalam srimadaatatam bhuvi gnanti e bhurida janaha. Now this is the 25th chapter we are going to start, that Swami Nikhilanandaji's translation of the Kathamrita, Bengali Kathamrita, the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna. The advice to Pandit Shashadhar. Sri Ramakrishna was in his room, sitting on a mat spread on the floor. This is the account of the Monday, June 30th, 1884. Pandit Shashadhar and a few devotees were with him on the mat, and the rest sat on the bare floor. Shurendra, Baburam, M, Harish, Latu, Hajra, and others were present. It was about 4 o'clock in the afternoon. To get the joy of reading the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna, one should also be introduced with these people, the devotees who are regularly visiting Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna. And they are not ordinary people. They are coming to a very modern thought, spiritual thought. You know, the majority of the people, they like to spend time or just flow along with the flow that goes in the society. But these people, the Balaram Bose, he was a very rich person, and he used to come all the time to attend whenever there was a possibility. Shurendra was the deputy magistrate. It was a very high position in those days for the Indians. He also used to come. M, we know that he was the headmaster of a school, and he was MA from Calcutta University. Harish, Latu and Hajra. These are the people. Latu afterwards became Swami Adbhutananda. So these are the people, and many, many more. They used to come. If we know these characters, know these people, we will understand how they slowly transformed. Spirituality is nothing but transformation. So this transformation, the Hindus, they don't believe in conversion. They believe in transformation. Why should I have to go and impose my ideas on somebody else who is not understanding anything? Conversion means imposing my idea on somebody else and getting him converted, getting him forced to follow my path, my philosophy. Here the Hinduism means transformation. His understanding, his thought process are changing. So that is what. It was about 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Sri Ramakrishna had met Pandit Shashadhar 6 days before in Calcutta. We got that account, we read that. And now the Pandit had come to Dakshineshwar to visit the master. Now the Calcutta, that was the capital of the then India, and Pandit Shashadhar was there. Sri Ramakrishna went to meet him. And Sri Ramakrishna was very eager to meet those people who were trying to follow the path of religion. So this is the speciality. What the clue that we get? The God goes to them who is trying to be good, trying to realize God. This is not an ordinary thing. Sri Ramakrishna is going to these people. They are trying in their own way to realize God, to explain God, to analyze God, to understand God, And God Himself, in the form of Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, is going to them to help them. Now, Sri Ramakrishna went to him. We have read that account. He went to one devotee's house, then he took the lunch, took rest, and in an appointed time he went and met the Pandit Shashadhar. He was a great famous Pandit as a scholar. And Sri Ramakrishna is going and meeting him, talking to him, and afterwards. But when Sri Ramakrishna is going, this is very special. He was from a very poor family background, no education almost, and he was not having any other credential. But he is going at par and above. He's going and meeting these people, not that, sir, I have come to see you, not like that. He's going at par, and also after that, he is influencing them to come to him. So these are the things that are the proofs of the existence of God, God's power. Sometimes some people they ask, is there God? The life of Sri Ramakrishna is the proof that there is God. As because the man who was not having anything, when he is going to meet the Pandit like Shashadhar, not that all people could go, but he is going, and when he is talking, he is getting impressed. Swami Vivekananda came over here, he met the professors, and they were impressed, influenced. Why? That is the power of God manifesting through these people. So the people are getting, and people like this, they are very, very egoistic. But they won't accept your views immediately, the Shashadhar. So this is very important. Why these accounts that we are reading? Because very, very important. This is the proof of God. And this person now influenced, and not only influenced, he was lucky. That's why his sadhana, he not only read the scripture and discussed about that, many people they do, but he had a desire to realize God. So he has come all the way from Calcutta to meet Sri Ramakrishna, and that particular day, which was June 30th, it was Monday, 4 o'clock, Master Masha is giving the complete description. Then on a floor, there's a mat that's spread, the very ordinary, and on that the God is sitting, and these people are also sitting, some other people just on the bare floor. Not any other arrangements. And there they are discussing very simple living, high thinking. As the people used to say, that was the lifestyle of the Indians, simple living, high thinking. So this Ramakrishna, and he is telling, the Pandit was the follower of the path of Jnana, knowledge, path of knowledge. The Pandit used to follow the Vedanta, that's usually that we do. And some of the people, they always think, and then we will discuss about that, the master was explaining this path to him. Path means the path of knowledge. He said, now this is important. The path of knowledge, most of you have read, you are associated with the Vedanta Society for such a long time, you know what is the path of Vedanta. Nitya and Leela. Nitya, unchanging, eternal, constant, that is Nitya. But we, from our day-to-day experiences, we know there are so many things are happening all the time. The past, present, future, so many things are going on. How can you say it is Nitya? So that has been termed as Leela, L-I-L-A. Leela. Leela means things that is changing, like the waves. Ocean, deep ocean, there is no wave. But on the top, on the surface of the ocean, there are waves. So obviously, Sri Ramakrishna is giving that example, Nitya and Leela. This we have to understand. Otherwise, we won't be able to follow the philosophy of Sri Ramakrishna. He is a Vedantin through and through. When there was a another doubt that rose in the minds of some of the disciples of Swami Vivekananda. Swami Vivekananda asked those people not even to worship the picture of Sri Ramakrishna because you are Vedantin. There's still the ashrama is there. And the in-charge Swami, I was talking with him this time, I'm thinking to invite the young Swami, junior the nurse. And in Advaita Ashrama, in Himalaya, they have developed some infrastructure and they're telling we like to invite the people from all over the world to come and be here, and we like to organize the retreats in the Himalaya. And that was the place where Swami Vivekananda liked. That's the name of that particular place is Mayavati. Now this place, Swamiji stopped worshipping the photo of his Guru, Sri Ramakrishna, our ideals. And naturally, the one, he was the disciple of Sri Ramakrishna. But he was a disciple of Swami Vivekananda, And he wrote to Mother. And Mother said, Sri Ramakrishna was Advaitin and you were also Advaitin. That this Advaitin conception means we are not accepting the existence of this world. But does it mean that we should simply go and commit suicide? This world is nothing, so we are going to commit suicide? No. We have to understand it, then automatically it will go down. Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna is giving the example, there is something happened and don't try to disturb that particular thing in your body when it is really not completely cured. When it is cured, automatically the dry skin will drop. You need not to bother about that. But before that, if you are forcing, then it will again aggravate and the blood will come, another problem will come. So that is exactly, he is telling, Nitya and Leela. This person, this Pandit, he is a scholar in Sanskrit, so they call Pandit. This person is following the path of Jnana, knowledge. And Sri Ramakrishna is using this word, Nitya, the constant. But you have to accept the Leela too. The two aspects of the same reality. The two aspects of the same reality. On the basis of this realization, this teaching, Swami Vivekananda said, whoever is serving the poor, the downtrodden, is serving the living gods. It's not emotional. It's on the basis of the realization. Anything that you see move, that human being particularly, and nothing but the manifestation of God, they may not know that way, they may not be aware, but this is true. Nitya and Leela are the two aspects of the one and the same reality. Who is the indivisible Satchidananda has assumed different forms for the sake of his Leela. Brahmana Rupakalpana Bhaktanam Anukampartham. Rupa Kalpana. Now we will discuss about that. Why the word Kalpana? Imagine. Why that word has been used over here? Bhaktanam Anukampartham. To help the devotees. For the benefit of the devotees, the Brahman which is one and without second, he has taken so many different forms. So that Brahman Sat Chit Ananda Sarupa, because Brahman we cannot explain, but the Sat Chit Ananda, that epithets, that is given just to have that idea. Sat Chit Ananda Sarupa. He is the existence, he is the knowledge, and he is the joy or the bliss. So this conception is Nitya and Leela. As he described the nature of the ultimate reality, the master every now and then become unconscious in samadhi. The master Mahashaya, he is mentioning that it is not an ordinary teacher teaching. It's a supreme God who has taken the form of Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna to help the people to understand, particularly the modern age. People are very egoistic, completely deluded, and their concentration only in the body. So the God has come and he is giving these teachings, and those things which happened 100 years before, more than 100 years, they are the description. When he is explaining this, the Leela, he is going back to Nitya. Can you imagine that? While he talked, he was intoxicated with spiritual fervor. He said to the Pandit, "My dear sir, Brahman is immutable and immovable, like Mount Sumeru." Just take an example he gave, like Mount Sumeru, you cannot move it. At the same time, but who is immovable can also move. This is the main line. One that is immovable can also move because it is all powerful. So this is the conception of the Vedanta. In the Vedanta, the main with Swami Vivekananda is one of his lectures that is delivered in the London in 1896. He delivered that lecture purely on the Vedanta. And in the beginning he is telling the most difficult question again and again comes for the Vedantin, from one which has no part, immovable, unchangeable, how this world has come. From Brahman, everything has come. That is the Vedantin way of telling. How? Because you said that it is not changing. But all the change that we see over here, how it is possible? So that Vivartavada and Parinamavada. Again and again we find that these two, one says Vivartavada, complete transformation, another is Parinamavada. And that Parinama, the changing completely, and Vivarta, as if it has changed, but in reality it is not. So the Vedantin, they propound, they accept, they say this is the Vivartavada. It's not the Parinamavada. What is the Parinamavada? Parinamavada means the milk, it has completely become the yogurt. The milk has become yogurt. Completely. It is Parinama. The God has become this universe. Brahman has become this universe. Is it like this? No, it cannot be. The God exhausted completely and it has become the world. No, it cannot be. Because world is constantly transforming, moving, changing. God cannot change. God cannot die. There cannot be any changes. So, the idea that our Vedantins are putting forward are more acceptable. One thing is very clear. From one, everything has come. I am talking from the point of view of the philosophy. So don't mix it up with the ideas of the science, because science is still trying to find out from where all this creation has come. It's still going on. They're going on researching. And here they concluded that from the one which is all-pervading consciousness, all these things have come. Now, two questions are coming. Is it complete transformation or apparent transformation? The Vedantin said it is Vivarta, apparent transformation. In the Panchadashi Vidyaranyamani, he said, Ekam eva aditiyam sannama rupa vivarjitam. Now what is this world? Only two, Nama and Rupa, nothing else. Ekam, that one, Eva, it is stressing on that, it is only one, Advitiyam. See, this is the beauty, the way they give the argument. If you say the one conception of two comes, so that they are breaking. There's no two. So what remains? One. So don't think about the two. So Ekam, only one, Eva, stressing on that is only Advitiyam, there is no two. Then again it says Sannama Rupa Bivarjitam. The Sanskrit word Bivarjita means without. That cannot be Nama and Rupa, name and form. Whole world that we see is nothing but the name and form. So that is the way we can understand the whole world. Anything that we see is nothing but the Nama and Rupa. Gaudapada, Veda Vyasa, Shankaracharya, they are all there giving this support to Vibhartavada. And this Vibhartavada, they say that through Maya, that is coming. Through Maya, a prism, through that it is coming again and again in different places. Swami Vivekananda said that there was a prism, nothing was there, very clear. But someone kept the red cloth at the back, and from the other side, people saw it is red. When in reality it is not having any color, just because the association of that. Here in Advaita, they say the Satya, the truth, can be analyzed or understand from 3 points of view. First is Paramarthika, transcendental. This transcendental truth is Brahman is there and nothing else. Paramarthika, Param, that means highest, and that Artha. What is that highest Artha, highest truth? That only Brahman, the pure consciousness, is there and nothing else. Second, Vyavaharika. This is pragmatic. Brahma Satya, Jagat Satya. Now this very moment, Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, he is telling Nitya, eternal, and Leela, the transformation, both are there. So he is actually telling Vyavaharika. This Vyavaharika Satya, why? Because our mind cannot accept the Paramarthika. We are not ready. So one should not misunderstand the explanation of Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna. Some of the people, they say, oh, he is actually supporting the not pure non-duality. He is supporting the another view, Vishishta Advaita. No, pure Advaita. But when he is talking with the people, like the us, for our betterment, he is giving this idea. Why? Because that will help us. We can understand that. There is nothing is there if you just read. What will happen? One lady, she was interested to understand the Jnana Yoga. I suggested Swami Vivekananda's book. She has written that and she is very happy. So that again and again we have to read and then we have to understand. Otherwise it is very impossible. Why? Because we are limited by time, space and causation. We cannot go beyond that. Now when a scientist say, oh my God, in your blood there are so many things. I see the blood and nothing is there. How come why you say, oh, there is this, there is that, the sugar is there, this is there, that is in this blood? I don't see anything. But through that particular machine, they are going to that. So both are reality. Person who is not understanding, that's also reality. You cannot simply ignore that. Oh, nothing is going to happen to them. Forget about them. No. Sri Ramakrishna is embracing those though they are not capable, he is slowly making them perfect. That is the beauty of Sri Ramakrishna. He was on that highest Advaitin. So when he was talking about the duality, he was again and again going back to the non-duality, into the Samadhi stage, but coming down only for us. And here we find the Advaita, the transcendental, is very difficult for us to understand. Then Vyavaharika, pragmatic, Brahma Satya and Jagat also Satya. And third, Pratibhashika. Pratibhashika is completely apparent. That is the process the Vedantin they always apply. Pratibhashika, apparent. Brahma Satya, Jagat Mithya. And what is this Mithya? Mithya, the moment the word we use the word, Sanskrit word Mithya, it is not existing. No, it is existing. But the way we are thinking, that is a mistake. So Brahma Satya, Jagat Mithya. That is the Pratibhashika Satya. This Pratibhashika Satya, that is exactly where they start with. And then we cross through. Then finally we reach to the Paramarthika Satya. So these three type of explanation, Paramarthika, Vyavaharika and Pratibhashika. These are the three stages. And this moment it will be good for us if we take the second one, because we are understanding the whole thing in that way. Now I will just give a hint, as Swami Vivekananda in his lecture, he tried to explain. He drew on a paper and explaining the Brahman becoming the Jagat, how it is. If you read the Jnana Yoga, that is page 108, there he has given that first is this absolute, and that is traveling through time, space and causation and becoming universe. So this is very unique way, very special way, very simple way we can say, simplest. First is the absolute, which has no form, no name, all pervading, but very difficult to even to imagine that truth. But we have to go back to that. How? So coming down, it is becoming universe. How it is becoming universe? Through that prism. It is traveling through time, space and causation. And what is the realization process? In the same book, in page 172, Swamiji, I am just quoting one line, it is impossible to be perfect here. There's a funny story. The one father was asking, I think I said this one before, one father was asking the congregation in the church, the God is the only perfect person. Is there anyone perfect here? Everybody said no. Naturally they are quiet. But one person from the back seat raised his hand. The father from the pulpit, he looked at that and said, do you think you are perfect? He said, not me, the first husband of my wife. Because every time the lady used to say, my first husband was perfect and you are not. So he got disgusted. So here he was telling that, mentioning that. So this is the funny thing. You can never become perfect in this world. Why? Because the world is like that. It cannot be. It is impossible. Now suppose you go to a hot place. And there you feel, oh, why it is hot? In Chicago it is so wonderful, comfortable and cold. That place is like that. You cannot say like that. Knowing everything you are going, so you have to be ready for that type of atmosphere. As long as you are in the world will be like this. There will be friends, and the same friend suddenly it will become enemy. And the brother and sisters, they are growing up together, and just for a little property of the parents, they become enemies. It is this truth. Why? Because this world, it becomes like this. That's why Swami Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna said, you must apply the oil in your hand before breaking the jackfruit. The raw jackfruit, if you're there, even the jackfruit, ripe jackfruit also, is so difficult. The sticky things should not be in your hand. So you have to, what is that application? When we are going to have this world, the people will be like this only. We have to avoid those people. In our Bhagavatam class, again and again, the Kapila Muni is telling, the last time we were reading that Kapila Muni, who are the bad people? Naraka, he said. What is that Naraka? Asat Sangha. Those who are asat. What does it mean by asat? Selfish. Those who are only selfish. They live for themselves. They use the others for their own benefit. They are asat. Company of this type of people are naraka, like the hell. Conception of hell is nothing. This only. And suffering will come, torture will come, and all these things because of. So you have to avoid them. Then and there, one person came to Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna and he was telling, my friend don't like to come to you, and I love him so much, and he is not talking with me because I am coming to you, etc., etc. Then Sri Ramakrishna said, try 2-3 times to continue the friendship. If you don't feel that he will be transformed, he will coming, forget about that. You have to go to the truth and don't wait for others, whether they will come or not. That is the decision you have to take. And you always feel, the emotional way, now I will take everyone to the temple, all of them, they will become. No, nothing is going to happen. They will go in their own way. You just go and inform. But so this is the time, space and causation. This is in between standing. And we have to go through. This is the central idea of the Advaita. Time, space and causation are like the glass through which the Absolute is seen. It appears as the universe. That is what Swami Vivekananda said. And I am not quoting the whole thing, just gist of it. Now the realization process, Swamiji said, it is impossible to be perfect here. We have to get out by reversing the process. By reversing the process. Sometimes people, they want to know about the spiritual growth. So what is the spiritual growth? What is meditation? What is concentration? What is all these? Reversing the process. What is the process that is going on? All our indriyas, all our senses going out to the sense objects. Reverse the process, that's all. And that's why Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna suggested, if you are angry with someone, don't be angry with any particular person. Any person. Be angry with God. Fight with God. I know that through that man, you are giving me all this problem. Why? What have I done? Anything wrong if I have done? I am your son, I am your daughter, I am your child. Why don't you help me? Instead of that, why you are insulting me in this way? So if we go and talk to the God, what happens? My mind goes to God. So that is the important thing. And then the morality and charity will begin. This is the beauty, this Swami Vivekananda, only a small verse. When we are reversing, some people they say, are we progressing in the spiritual life? How we will know? I am seeing the blue star, I am seeing the green light. All these things they are telling. Very clear. If you are progressing in the spiritual life, two things will happen. What is that? That morality and charity. The morality and charity will happen. So dhanam, why dhanam is so important in the spiritual life? Whatever I have earned, whatever I am having is so, I am attached to all those, now I am giving it to others without expecting any result. So that is called dhanam. It's so difficult. And what is the morality? The spirituality. I am having that soul within me, and obviously all these beings are nothing but the manifestation of the same consciousness. How can I have the differences? How can I say, don't come to me? How can I say, don't touch me? That is called morality. This morality people don't understand. So many things are happening. This temple, they are not allowed. That temple, they should not go. Hindus. Oh my God, these Hindus are becoming this way. Oh, this is the tradition. Sometime they said the tradition. What is that to you? Why should you have to continue this tradition which is not good? Why didn't you understand? Because this is someone sometimes said that you have to follow this bus. So where is your own hate? What is your own judgment? We have lost it. In the name of tradition, we are actually torturing. So this is the ignorance. What is that tradition? That which is good. One gentleman, Swamiji, was telling me, don't destroy the tradition of, he was meaning a different way, of the tribal people. I told, what is their tradition? They can't use the clothings. They don't know how to wash the hands also. Forget about other things. So dirty, constantly drinking, dying at a younger age. And all these traditions that we will encourage, you think? No, that is not tradition. Their forefathers used to live on the branches of the tree. Shall I also ask our boys who are studying the science, go and build a house on the top of the tree and live over there? Rich people, they do treetop houses for the fun of it, but not that they truly live there. So this tradition, in the name of tradition, what does it mean by tradition? We have to understand that. It's not that the ignorance should be accepted as a tradition. So Swamiji said, we had to completely change the mode backward. We have to go back to the source. And how you will understand that we are going to the right path, our process, our experiences, and all the try that we are doing to develop the spirituality, these two qualities will develop. One is morality and charity. Swamiji said, what is the watchword? Not me, but thou. Now, leaving Swamiji here, let us follow the words of Swami Vivekananda, Thakur Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, and he is in a great mood. And when the gentleman was listening to him, Pandit Shashadhar Tarka Chudamani is a great person. When he accepted Sri Ramakrishna was in a great joy, you can say. In 10 songs he sang that time, 10, one after another. He was going on singing. Who is there that can understand what Mother Kali is? And that way he was going on singing. And one time he sat, Pandit again said, are you going to sing again? He again sang. He was so happy. He was so happy. Why the song? To express the joy. Why the joy? Because this person has understood the meaning of spirituality. And now they sat, and he is telling, the Pandit had studied the Vedas and the other scriptures. He loved to discuss philosophy. So see, the hundreds of years before also the same type of people loved to discuss philosophy. only discussion. Intellectual satisfaction it comes, but in reality, in practicality, it's not. So one Pandit is a Sanskrit scholar. He used to teach our Swamis and Brahmacharis. An elderly person. Once he didn't come, so the Belur Math authority asked a Brahmachari to visit his house to go and see, is he all right? Why he is not coming? So he went and he was sitting in the room, reception room, and there one young lady came and gave the little water as the tradition. So the Atithi, the guest has come, the one glass of water first she gave. Then afterwards that Pandit came. And the Brahmachari and the Swami is there, worried about you, are you all right? Why you are not coming? And then Pandit told, do you like to have a glass of water? Oh no, your daughter has given. Then the Pandit told, it's not my daughter. She is my fourth wife. And she is teaching, that Pandit is teaching Vedanta. So that is exactly, then the Brahmachari came and he told the Swami, Maharaj, we are studying Vedanta from him. Don't bother about that. He is a learned man. Learn the grammar and all those things. Don't follow his character. So the only that much we are accepting, not following him. Sometimes some people, to become the monk, they used to go to Master Mahashaya. And when the mother came to know about it, the mother told, why do you go to him? Why do you go and talk with Girish Chandra Ghosh? They're good people, no doubt. But if you like to become the monk, you should go to Sharat, Baburam, and the Raja. Brahmanandaji, Saradanandaji, Premanandaji, go to them. Because this is the life that they are living, and the scripture that you are studying are completely different. There's some people, they are earning a lot of money just by explaining some of the treatises of Vedanta. Because they know the language, they know how to put those language. It's sort of the intellectual joy that they get. And one singer is coming and singing, or a dancer is coming and dancing. We go purchase the ticket and attend that program like that. But truly, if you have to develop in spirituality, you have to go to those people who are regularly following that, practicing that, developing that in their own life. This is called sadhana. Master seated on the couch cast his benign look on the Pandit. See the observation, the wonderful way the Master Mahashaya, when Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna is looking at that gentleman, was a great scholar, benign look, with great love. Just a few days back, the Durga Puja is over. Our senior Swamis used to say that if you go stand before the Mother, you should pray for the benign look. Mother, I know thousands are there all around, but look at me with your benign eyes, with a love, with a compassion. So that look should be there on me. So Master, that is the God in human form, I again and again say this because I 100% believe that Sri Ramakrishna is the God in human form. So he is telling that God, one cannot realize God without austerity and spiritual discipline. There are many scriptures like the Vedas. Tomorrow I am going to participate in the interfaith dialogue. And the topic is scriptures, different. So that in our university campus in Chicago. So there the discussion will be the scripture, the Christianity, Islam, Buddhism, Judaism, Hinduism, all will be sitting discussing about the scripture. What is the scripture? A record of realizations. The realized people, like the scientist, when they find out something, they record it. That is published for the people. Scripture is just like that. If it is not, it's not a scripture. So many people, they are very learned people, but they were in different the trades. And after the retirement, most of the Indians, they like to be the spiritual, so they will read some book and immediately they will write some bhashya on the Bhagavad Gita or these and that is okay if they have written. Problem is ours that they will come and you please sell it or distribute. Whom to distribute? What you have written, I do not know. Keep it to yourself. Are you satisfied? So that is the main question. Sri Ramakrishna is telling. There are many scriptures like the Vedas, but one cannot realize God without austerity and spiritual discipline. What is the austerity? We talk about austerity. Tapasya, tapasya. Tapas, tapas, tapas. In Sanskrit they always say. What is the austerity? Constantly withdrawing the mind from the world and putting it back to the God. Constantly withdrawing our senses, that is mind. So that is called austerity. And the spiritual discipline means whatever the Guru has instructed, by that way one should practice. Guru said, take the name of God in the morning and the evening, do that. And don't bother about anything else. That will help you. And this way, he says, and God cannot be found in the 6 systems, the Vedas or the Tantras. These are very bold words. Some of the followers of the different religion, they cannot even think of it. Forget about uttering. If you say that these and this scripture cannot help you to realize God, next moment your head will be somewhere else. Your body will be other. You will be killed immediately. Because narrowness. Scripture is not the thing that is helping you giving you the realization. You are going to get the realization. How? With the help of the knowledge that is recorded over there. And this is the broadness of the Hinduism. And that is why they say, when one gentleman came and asked the Guru, what is the path that I should follow? He said, see, there are 2 only, Paraja eva aparaja. What is the Paravidya? And the Sanskrit term para means the worldly knowledge. He is giving the list of the Paravidya. Some of them he was just making. Rig Veda, Sama Veda, Yajur Veda, Atharva Veda, Shiksha, Kalpo, Vakarana, Chanda, Niruktam, Jyotishamiti. First Rig, Sam, Yaju, Atharva. Who is telling? A Hindu saint, to whom a person who is also coming to understand the Hindu way of realization. And these Vedas are our basis. They are our book on the basis of which the whole this edifice has been built. But even they say, no, Sri Ramakrishna, he is giving a wonderful example. But one should learn the contents of the scripture and then act accordingly to their injunctions. That is important. Then immediately, a metaphor. A man lost a letter. He couldn't remember where he had left it. He began to search for it with a lamp. After 2 or 3 people had searched, the letter was at last found. The message in the letter was, please send us 5 shades of sandesh and a piece of wearing cloth. Well, somebody wanted some sweets and the cloth. But that was important because he was the in-law. From the in-law's house this request came. In India that is very, very important. From the in-law's house it is coming. So the man read it and threw that letter away. Because we need the message, that's all. So one of the direct disciples, he was a young boy, he stopped visiting Sri Ramakrishna, and Sri Ramakrishna was inquiring, So why that boy is not coming? No, he is now studying Vedanta. So what is there? No, he thinks that coming over here, talking with you, what is the wastage of time? So ask him to come. When he came, he asked him, what is there in your Vedanta? Brahma Shatta, Jagat Mithya. What else? That is true. In the whole scripture that you study and we are selling over here, if you go down in your bookstore and the bookshop, so many varieties of books, all Vedanta books, and different explanations. What is actually there? Only this half thing, what Shankaracharya said. Brahma Shatta Jagat Mithya. That is truth. Brahman is only there, and all that you see is nothing but the appearances. So better than reading is hearing, he said. Better than reading is hearing. Better than hearing is seeing. When you are going on reading, but it is better that if you go and listen from your guru what he said, that will be sufficient. Don't waste time only reading books. If you go to any modern society, in the conversation, they will surely ask you, some of your friends, hey, what book you are reading now? Even in the interviews, they will ask, what book you are reading now? To show that you are always in connection with, now I am reading this book and that book, you have to mention the prominent writers and the present-day writers. Otherwise, you are discarded. You are not good for the society. What these writing? What they are writing? In Bengali they say, Thod budi khada, khada budi thod. The same thing you have to, someone was cooking, that in our Belur Math they used to say, Maharaj, what is the tiffin today? We used to ask. He used to say, Mori and chanachur. That is that murmura. Puffed rice and murmura. And the next day, Maharaj, what is the tiffin today? Murmura. And that is, then again he will say, just opposite, Muri and chanachur and Muri. Muri and chanachur, that means every day the same thing. Only the proportion of the puffed rice will be more and this will be less, and this will be little more and that will be little less. So same thing will come. In this also, different type of the story books that you read, the same thing. 2, 3 things will happen and nothing else. Scripture also the same. And Bhagavad Gita, and here it says, seeing is far better than hearing. Master is telling. Why? Realization. If I see God, if I feel that within my heart, I need not to bother about anything. How long should one reason about the text of the scriptures? He said, so long as one does not have direct realization of God. How long one should read the scripture? The moment you realize the God, that is sufficient. We take the map and to reach to some place. I have seen that those who are driving, they will put the map over there, very careful about writing the town, city, and address and everything. Now they will follow that map, GPS, and when they reach in the map we find that there is a flag, this is the place you already reached, immediately they will put it off because it's not no use. Similarly the scripture, this is God, this is Brahman, we reach over there, realize, then nothing is necessary. But you must remember, one may talk even after the realization of God. Why? Like the Shankaracharya and others. Even after realization they are talking. The Jnani reasons about the world through the process of neti neti. Friends, we were studying the path of knowledge according to into the light of the Sri Ramakrishna. What Sri Ramakrishna said? He said, Nitya and Leela, both are truth at this moment. Because otherwise you cannot understand. Now afterwards, he said, when you, the Jnani, the path of knowledge that you are traveling, what process they say? Neti, neti, not this, not this. What Swami Vivekananda said in his London lecture? Reverse the process. Iti, this. I love this thing, I love this thing, I love this thing. And the time will come when you say, I don't want. Not this. In the life of so many people we find, so many people. And they were grabbing, they were having so many things, then afterwards they go on giving away. Why? Neti. Totally from the mind they have, no, I don't want this. Withdrawing the mind and going back. In the Bhagavad Gita, the second chapter, 55 verse up to 61 verses, 7 or 8 verses are there, where it says the symbol, how to understand who is a realized person. Arjuna asks that question. And Prajahati yada kaman sarvan parth manogatan. He who has given away all desire. And then the 61 verses say, Tani sarvani sanyamma yukta asita matpara. And the whole mind constantly withdrawn and attached with me. That's all. So this is what they say. A man who knows that God exists is called Jnani. A Jnani is like one who knows beyond doubt that a log of wood contains the fire. But a Vijnani is he who lights the log, cooks over the fire, and is nourished by the food. That is the Vijnani. So Sri Ramakrishna constantly inspiring us to become Vijnani. And Pandit immediately quoted from Mundakopanishad, Vidyate hridaya granthi chiddante sarva samsayaha. All the bonds are shattered and there remains no doubt. So this is, Sri Ramakrishna is telling, yes, Ashtapasha Mukta. What is that Ashtapasha? In next class we will discuss. Let us complete with this sloka. Niranjanam Nityam Anantarupam Bhaktanukampa Drita Vigraham Vai Ishavataram Parameshamidyam Tam Ramakrishnam Shirasa Namama. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Tat Sat. Sri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.